Have you ever looked in a mirror and wondered if what you see is really you? Well, what if I told you that your whole life is like a giant mirror? Everything around you, your job, your relationships, your money, it's all showing you something about yourself. This idea is called the mirror principle, and it's not just some crazy theory. It's a powerful way of looking at life that can change everything for you. You might think you know yourself, but this mirror principle, it's going to show you parts of yourself you never knew existed. Now here's the exciting part. Once you understand this mirror principle, you can use it to change your life. It's like having a magic wand, but instead of waving it around, you're changing what's inside you. And when you change what's inside, the mirror of your life starts to show something different. Imagine waking up one day and everything just feels better. Your job is more fulfilling, your relationships are stronger, and those money problems, they start to fade away. That's the power of the mirror principle. It's simple, but don't let that fool you. This little idea can turn your whole world upside down in the best way possible. Let's get real for a second. How many times have you tried to change things in your life? Maybe you've switched jobs, moved to a new city, or even ended relationships. But somehow, the same old problems keep popping up. It's frustrating, right? Well, here's the thing. If you don't change what's going on inside you, nothing outside is going to change for long. That's where the mirror principle comes in. It shows you that the key to changing your life isn't out there somewhere. It's right inside you. And once you get this, once you really understand it, you'll never look at your problems the same way again. You'll have the power to change things from the inside out. So, what exactly is this mirror principle? Think of it like this. Everything in your life is reflecting something about you. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your deepest feelings, they're all being shown back to you by the world around you. It's like the universe is one big mirror, and you're standing in front of it. The good stuff, the bad stuff, it's all a reflection of what's going on inside you. Now I know what you're thinking. But wait, I didn't choose to have this crummy job or these money problems. And you're right, you didn't choose them directly. But here's the kicker. Your inner world, the way you think and feel about yourself and life, that's what's creating your outer world. It's like you're projecting a movie onto a screen, and that movie is your life. Let's break it down a bit more. Say you believe, deep down, that you're not good with money. Maybe you don't even realize you believe this, but it's there, hiding in your thoughts. What happens? Suddenly, you find yourself always short on cash or making bad financial decisions. The mirror of life is just reflecting back what you believe about yourself. But here's the good news. If your thoughts and beliefs can create problems, they can also create solutions. That's the real power of the mirror principle. Once you get it, you can start changing your inner world and watch as your outer world transforms to match. Now, let's dig into how this mirror principle actually works. It's all about the connection between your inner world and the outer world. Imagine you have two mirrors facing each other. One mirror is your inner self, your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. The other mirror is the outside world, your experiences, relationships, and circumstances. These mirrors are constantly reflecting back and forth, creating your reality. Here's the really important part. The inner mirror always leads. Whatever you're putting out there with your thoughts and feelings, that's what the outer mirror is going to reflect back. It's like a game of catch, but you're always the one throwing first. Let's say you wake up feeling confident and positive. You believe good things are going to happen today. What happens? You might find people being extra nice to you, or opportunities suddenly appearing. The outer world is matching your inner state. On the flip side, if you wake up feeling like the world is against you, guess what? You'll probably run into all sorts of problems and annoyances. The outer mirror is just doing its job, reflecting what you're putting out there. Now, this doesn't mean that every single thing in your life is directly caused by your thoughts. The world is complex, and lots of things are outside our control. But the mirror principle shows us that how we experience and react to the world is very much influenced by our inner state. Here's a practical example. Two people apply for the same job. One goes in thinking, I probably won't get this, I'm not good enough. The other thinks, I've got this, I'm the perfect fit. Who do you think is more likely to get the job? The confident one, right? It's not magic, it's the mirror principle in action. The confident person's inner belief is reflected in their body language, their tone of voice, the way they answer questions. The outer world, in this case the interviewer, picks up on this and reflects it back. Understanding the mirror principle isn't just about changing your thoughts and waiting for good things to happen. It's also about using the outer world as a tool for self-discovery. Everything you experience is an opportunity to learn something about yourself. Think about it like this. If your life is a mirror, then every situation you find yourself in is showing you something about your inner world. Having trouble with relationships? Maybe there's something you need to work on in terms of how you view yourself or others. Always struggling with money? It might be time to look at your beliefs about wealth and abundance. This is where self-reflection comes in. It's about looking at your life experiences and asking, what is this trying to show me about myself? It's not always easy. Sometimes what we see in the mirror isn't pretty. But remember, the goal isn't to beat yourself up. It's to understand yourself better so you can grow and change. Here's a simple way to practice self-reflection. Pick a situation in your life that's bothering you. Ask yourself, what beliefs or thoughts might I have that could be contributing to this situation? Be honest with yourself, but also be kind. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding. Once you've identified some beliefs, ask yourself if they're really true, or if they're just old patterns you've been carrying around. The more you practice this kind of self-reflection, the better you'll get at understanding the connection between your inner and outer worlds. And that understanding is the first step to making real, lasting changes in your life. Now that we understand how the mirror principle works, let's talk about how to use it to change your life. Remember, the inner mirror leads, so that's where we need to focus our efforts. The first step is becoming aware of your current inner state. What are the thoughts and beliefs you're carrying around? Some of these might be obvious to you, but others might be hiding just below the surface. Pay attention to the thoughts that pop into your head throughout the day, especially when you're faced with challenges. Once you've identified some of your key thoughts and beliefs, it's time to start changing them. This isn't about forcing yourself to think positive thoughts all the time. It's about challenging the negative beliefs that aren't serving you and replacing them with more helpful ones. Let's say you've realized you have a belief that I'm not good enough. This belief might be showing up in your life as missed opportunities or relationships that don't work out. To change this, you might start by questioning the belief. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it really true? Or is it just something I've been telling myself? What evidence do I have that contradicts this belief? Then you can start to replace this belief with a more positive one. Maybe something like, I am worthy and capable. Now here's the important part. You need to really feel this new belief. It's not enough to just say the words. You need to find evidence in your life that supports this new belief and focus on that. This process takes time and practice. You're essentially reprogramming your inner mirror, and that doesn't happen overnight. But every time you catch yourself thinking the old negative thought and replace it with the new, more positive one, you're making progress. Changing your inner mirror isn't just about changing your thoughts. It's also about aligning your actions with your new beliefs. If you want the outer mirror to reflect something different, you need to start acting like the person you want to be. For example, if you want to be more confident, start taking small actions that a confident person would take. Maybe that means speaking up more in meetings, or trying something new that scares you a little. Each time you take one of these actions, you're sending a powerful message to both your inner and outer mirrors. This is where a lot of people get stuck. They change their thoughts, but don't change their actions, and then they wonder why nothing is changing in their lives. Remember, the mirror principle is about reflection. If you want to see something different in the outer mirror, you need to give it something different to reflect. Here's a simple exercise to help align your actions with your desired reality. Think about the person you want to be or the life you want to have. Ask yourself, if I were already that person or living that life, what would I do differently today? Pick one small action from that list and do it. Pay attention to how it feels to take that action. The more you align your actions with your desired reality, the more you'll start to see changes in your outer mirror. One of the most important things to remember about the mirror principle is that it takes time. Just like it takes time for your reflection to appear, when you step in front of a real mirror, it takes time for your outer world to fully reflect the changes in your inner world. This is where a lot of people give up. They make some changes in their thinking and their actions, but they don't see immediate results, so they think it's not working. But here's the thing. Your outer world has a bit of lag time. It's like turning a big ship. It doesn't happen instantly, but once it starts turning, it keeps going in that new direction. So, patience is key. Keep working on your inner mirror. Keep aligning your actions with your new beliefs, and trust that the outer mirror will catch up. Sometimes you might see small changes quickly, and other times it might take longer. But if you stay consistent, you will see results. It's also important to remember that this isn't a one-time thing. The mirror principle is a lifelong practice. As you grow and change, you'll keep discovering new aspects of yourself to work on. And that's a good thing. It means you're constantly evolving and improving. Now let's talk about something that's bound to happen on this journey: setbacks. There will be times when it feels like nothing is changing, or even like things are getting worse. This is normal, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Often, when we start making positive changes, our old patterns will fight back. It's like they're saying, "Hey, wait a minute, we're comfortable here." This can show up as challenges or obstacles in your outer world. But remember, these are just reflections of the inner changes you're making. When you hit these rough patches, it's important not to give up. Instead, see them as opportunities for even deeper self-reflection. Ask yourself, what is this situation trying to show me? Is there an old belief or pattern that I'm still holding on to? How can I respond to this in a way that aligns with who I want to be? These setbacks are actually a good sign. They mean you're making real changes, and your inner and outer worlds are realigning. It might be uncomfortable, but it's part of the growth process. As you work with the mirror principle, you'll start to notice something interesting. The changes you make don't just affect you. They ripple out into the world around you. Think about it like this. If you start showing up as a more confident, positive person, how do you think that will affect your relationships, your work, your community? As you change your inner mirror, you're not just changing your own reflection. You're changing the way you interact with everything and everyone around you. This is where the mirror principle becomes really powerful. By working on yourself, you're actually contributing to positive changes in the world at large. Your new, more positive reflection starts to influence others, creating a ripple effect of positive change. For example, let's say you've been working on being more patient and understanding. As you practice this, you might find that your relationships improve. People might start coming to you for advice or support. Your calm, understanding presence might help diffuse tense situations at work or in your family. This ripple effect works both ways too. As you start putting more positivity out into the world, you'll likely find more positivity coming back to you. It's like the universe is saying, "Oh, this is what you're about now. Here's more of that." Remember, every interaction you have, every decision you make, is an opportunity to put something positive into the world. And according to the mirror principle, what you put out there will eventually come back to you. So how do you take all this information and actually use it in your day-to-day life? Here are some practical tips. Start your day with intention. Before you get out of bed in the morning, take a moment to set an intention for the day. How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up in the world? This sets the tone for your inner mirror right from the start. Practice mindfulness. Throughout the day, take moments to check in with yourself. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? This awareness helps you catch negative patterns before they take over. Use affirmations. Positive affirmations can be a powerful way to reshape your inner mirror. Choose affirmations that resonate with you and repeat them regularly, especially when you're facing challenges. Keep a reflection journal. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write about your experiences. What happened today? How did you respond? What did you learn about yourself? This practice helps you see patterns and track your progress over time. Practice gratitude. Regularly focusing on what you're grateful for helps shift your inner mirror towards positivity. Try listing 3 things you're grateful for each day. Take inspired action. Don't just think about the changes you want to make. Take action. Even small steps in the right direction can have a big impact over time. Be kind to yourself. Remember, this is a process. You won't be perfect, and that's okay. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a good friend. Surround yourself with positivity. The people and environments you spend time in can have a big impact on your inner mirror. Try to surround yourself with positive influences as much as possible. Regular self-reflection. Set aside time each week for deeper self-reflection. Look at your experiences, your progress, and areas where you still want to grow. Celebrate your wins. No matter how small, celebrate the positive changes you see in yourself and your life. This reinforces the positive shifts you're making in your inner mirror. By integrating these practices into your daily life, you'll be constantly working with the mirror principle, reshaping your inner world and watching as your outer world transforms to match. As you continue on this journey, remember that the mirror principle is a powerful tool, but it's not about achieving perfection. It's about growth, self-discovery, and gradually creating a life that truly reflects your highest self. Every step you take, every positive change you make, is reflecting something beautiful back into the world, and that in itself is something truly amazing. Step-by-step guide. Putting the mirror principle into practice. Now that we've covered the basics of the mirror principle, let's dive into how you can actually use it in your life. This isn't just about understanding the concept, it's about making real changes. So here's a step-by-step guide to help you get started. The first step is to take a good, honest look at your life right now. What do you see? Are you happy with your job, your relationships, your health, your finances? Remember, all of these things are reflections of your inner world. Don't judge what you see, just observe it. Take a piece of paper and write down what you notice in different areas of your life. Be specific. Instead of just writing bad job, write down exactly what's not working. Maybe it's, I feel undervalued at work, or I'm not passionate about what I do. This step can be tough. It's not always easy to face our reality. But remember, you're not doing this to beat yourself up. You're doing it to get clear on where you are so you can figure out where you want to go. Step 2. Look inward. Now that you've observed your outer world, it's time to look inward. For each situation you wrote down, ask yourself, what beliefs or thoughts might I have that are creating this situation? For example, if you wrote, I never have enough money, your inner belief might be something like, I'm not good with money, or there's never enough to go around. If you wrote, I'm always in bad relationships, your belief might be, I don't deserve love, or relationships are always hard. This step takes some deep honesty. Sometimes we've been carrying these beliefs for so long that we don't even realize they're there. They feel like facts, not beliefs. But remember, they're just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Now comes the exciting part. For each limiting belief you identified, choose a new, more positive belief to replace it. This new belief should feel good to you, but also be believable. It's okay to stretch yourself a little, but don't go so far that your mind completely rejects it. For example, if your old belief was, I'm not good with money, your new belief might be, I'm learning to manage money well. If it was, I don't deserve love, your new belief could be, I am worthy of loving, healthy relationships. Write these new beliefs down. These are going to be the foundation of your new inner world, which will eventually be reflected in your outer world. Here's where a lot of people get stuck. They change their thoughts, but don't change their actions. Remember, the mirror principle is about reflection. If you want to see something different in the outer mirror, you need to give it something different to reflect. For each new belief, think of 1 or 2 actions you can take that align with it. If your new belief is, "I'm learning to manage money well," your action might be to start tracking your spending or to read a book about personal finance. If it's, "I am worthy of loving, healthy relationships," your action might be to set a boundary in a relationship or to practice self-care. These actions don't have to be big. In fact, it's better to start small. The important thing is that they align with your new beliefs. Now that you have your new beliefs and aligned actions, it's time to put them into practice. This is where the real work begins. Every day, remind yourself of your new beliefs. You might want to write them down and put them somewhere you'll see them often. When you catch yourself falling into old thought patterns, gently remind yourself of your new belief. Don't beat yourself up for having the old thought. Just redirect yourself to the new one. Take your aligned actions regularly, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're not seeing results yet. Remember, you're reprogramming your inner mirror, and that takes time and consistency. After a few weeks of practicing, take some time to reflect. What changes are you noticing, both in your inner world and your outer world? Are there areas where you're struggling? Do you need to adjust any of your beliefs or actions? This step is crucial because it helps you stay on track and make adjustments as needed. The mirror principle isn't about getting it perfect the first time. It's about constantly refining and improving. As you start working with the mirror principle, there are some common pitfalls you'll want to watch out for. Being aware of these can help you stay on track and get the most out of this practice. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting their outer world to change overnight. Remember, your outer world has some lag time. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the plant the next day, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. When you start working with the mirror principle, you might notice some small changes quickly. Maybe you feel a bit more positive or confident. But bigger changes in your outer world, like a new job or improved relationships, can take time. The key is to trust the process. Keep focusing on your inner work, even if you're not seeing dramatic changes right away. Those changes are coming, but they need time to manifest. Another common mistake is thinking that if you just change your thoughts, everything else will magically fall into place. While changing your thoughts is a crucial part of the mirror principle, it's not the whole story. Remember, the outer world reflects both your inner state and your actions. If you're thinking positive thoughts, but still acting in ways that don't align with those thoughts, you're sending mixed signals to the universe. For example, if you're telling yourself, "I'm confident and capable," but you're still avoiding challenges and opportunities, your actions are contradicting your thoughts. To see real change, you need to align both your thoughts and your actions. Working with the mirror principle can bring up a lot of self-reflection, and sometimes that can lead to self-criticism. You might start noticing all the ways your current reality doesn't match up with what you want, and it's easy to start blaming yourself. But remember, the mirror principle isn't about judgment. It's about awareness and growth. If you find yourself being harsh or critical, take a step back. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a good friend. Every realization you have, every old belief you uncover, is an opportunity for growth. It's not a reason to beat yourself up. Celebrate the fact that you're becoming more aware and taking steps to change. When we're working towards big goals, it's easy to overlook the small changes along the way. But those small changes are signs that the mirror principle is working. Maybe you're aiming for a big promotion at work and you get frustrated when it doesn't happen right away. But are you noticing that you're feeling more confident in meetings? Or that your boss is giving you more responsibilities? These are all reflections of your changing inner world. Pay attention to these small shifts. They're not just nice side effects, they're proof that your inner work is having an impact. Celebrating these small wins can help keep you motivated and on track. The mirror principle is powerful, but it doesn't mean you can control every aspect of your life. Sometimes people fall into the trap of thinking that if something bad happens, it must be because of their negative thoughts. While our thoughts and beliefs do have a big impact on our reality, there are also things outside of our control. The goal isn't to control everything, but to respond to life in a way that aligns with your highest self. If something unexpected or unwanted happens, instead of blaming yourself, ask, how can I respond to this in a way that reflects who I want to be? This approach keeps you in your power, even when facing challenges. As you start working with the mirror principle, you'll begin to notice changes in various areas of your life. These benefits can be subtle at first, but they tend to grow and compound over time. Let's explore some of the positive changes you might experience. One of the first benefits you'll likely notice is an increase in self-awareness. As you start paying attention to your thoughts, beliefs, and their reflections in your life, you'll gain a deeper understanding of yourself. You might start noticing patterns you've never seen before. Maybe you realize that you tend to self-sabotage when things are going well, or that you have a habit of avoiding difficult conversations. This awareness is incredibly valuable because it gives you the power to make changes. With this increased self-awareness, you'll be better equipped to make decisions that align with your true self. You'll start to understand your motivations better, and you'll be able to catch yourself when you're falling into old, unhelpful patterns. As you work on changing your inner mirror, you'll likely find that your overall outlook becomes more positive. This doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts or emotions. That's not realistic or even desirable. But you'll start to approach life's challenges with a more constructive mindset. You might notice that you're able to find the silver lining in difficult situations more easily, or that you're naturally more optimistic about future outcomes. This positive outlook can have a ripple effect on many areas of your life, from your stress levels to your relationships. Speaking of relationships, this is an area where many people see significant improvements when working with the mirror principle. As you become more self-aware and positive, you'll likely find that your interactions with others improve as well. You might notice that you're more patient with your loved ones, or that you're better able to communicate your needs. You might find it easier to set healthy boundaries, or to show empathy to others. These changes can lead to deeper, more satisfying relationships. Remember, according to the mirror principle, the way people treat you is often a reflection of how you treat yourself. As you learn to be kinder and more understanding with yourself, you might find that others start treating you with more kindness and understanding too. Another common benefit of working with the mirror principle is increased confidence. As you start to understand yourself better and make positive changes, your self-esteem naturally grows. You might find yourself speaking up more in meetings at work or feeling more comfortable in social situations. You might be more willing to take on new challenges or to stand up for yourself when needed. This increased confidence can open up new opportunities in all areas of your life. Remember, the outer world reflects your inner state. When you feel more confident on the inside, the outside world tends to respond accordingly. Many people find that as they work with the mirror principle, their career starts to shift in positive ways. This might happen in your current job, or it might lead you to a completely new career path. You might find that you're more engaged and productive at work, or that you're attracting more opportunities for growth and advancement. Some people realize that their current job doesn't align with their true desires, and they find the courage to make a change. Remember, your career is a big part of your life's reflection. As you change your inner world, don't be surprised if your outer work world starts to change too. While the mirror principle isn't a substitute for medical care, many people find that it has a positive impact on their overall health and well-being. This can happen in a few ways. First, as your stress levels decrease and your outlook becomes more positive, you might notice improvements in stress-related health issues. Second, as you become more aligned with your true self, you might find yourself naturally making healthier choices. You might feel more motivated to exercise, eat well, or prioritize sleep. Lastly, your relationship with your body might improve. As you practice self-love and acceptance, you might find that you treat your body with more respect and care. Perhaps one of the most profound benefits of working with the mirror principle is a greater sense of purpose and meaning in life. As you become more aligned with your true self, you might find that you have a clearer sense of what you want to contribute to the world. This doesn't necessarily mean you'll suddenly discover your life's grand purpose. It might be as simple as feeling more fulfilled in your daily life, or having a clearer sense of your values and what's truly important to you. This sense of purpose can bring a deep sense of satisfaction and joy to your life. It can help you navigate difficult decisions and give you the motivation to keep growing and evolving. Remember, these benefits don't usually appear all at once. They tend to unfold gradually as you continue to work with the mirror principle. The key is to be patient with yourself and to celebrate each small change along the way. Every positive shift, no matter how small, is a reflection of the important inner work you're doing. To really understand how the mirror principle works, it can be helpful to look at a real-life example. Let's consider the story of Sarah, a woman who used the mirror principle to transform her life. Sarah was in her mid-30s, working a job she didn't love, and struggling with her relationships. She often felt stressed, undervalued, and like life was happening to her rather than for her. One day she came across the mirror principle and decided to give it a try. First, Sarah took a good look at her life, her outer mirror. She noticed that she was constantly passed over for promotions at work, her romantic relationships never seemed to last, and she often felt lonely and disconnected from her friends. When Sarah looked inward, she realized she had some deep-seated beliefs that were shaping her reality. She believed she wasn't smart enough to advance in her career, that she didn't deserve a loving relationship, and that people probably didn't want to spend time with her. Recognizing these beliefs was tough for Sarah, but it was also empowering. She realized that if these beliefs were creating her current reality, new beliefs could create a different reality. Sarah decided to work on changing her inner mirror. She chose new beliefs. I am capable and valuable in my work. I am worthy of love and healthy relationships. I am a good friend and people enjoy my company. But Sarah knew that just thinking these new thoughts wasn't enough. She needed to act on them too. So she started taking small actions that aligned with her new beliefs. At work, she started speaking up more in meetings and volunteering for new projects. In her personal life, she started setting healthier boundaries and opened herself up to dating again. With her friends, she initiated plans more often and practiced being more open and vulnerable. The changes Sarah saw. At first, the changes were subtle. Sarah noticed she felt a bit more confident, a little less stressed. But as she kept practicing her new beliefs and actions, bigger changes started to happen. At work, her boss started giving her more responsibilities. Within a year, she was promoted to a leadership position. In her personal life, she met someone who treated her with respect and kindness, and they developed a healthy, loving relationship. Her friendships deepened, and she found herself surrounded by supportive, positive people. But the biggest change was how Sarah felt about herself. She felt more confident, more at peace, and more in control of her life. She realized that as her inner world had changed, her outer world had changed to match it. Sarah's story is just one example of how the mirror principle can work. Your journey might look different, but the principle remains the same. As you change your inner world, your outer world will change to reflect it. We've covered a lot of ground in exploring the mirror principle. We've looked at what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to transform your life. We've explored common mistakes to avoid, the benefits you might see, and even seen a real-life example of the principle in action. But remember, knowledge is only powerful when it's put into action. The mirror principle isn't just a nice theory. It's a practical tool that can help you create real change in your life. But it only works if you use it. So here's my challenge to you. Start working with the mirror principle today, right now even. Take a moment to reflect on an area of your life you'd like to change. What beliefs might be creating that reality? What new belief could you choose instead? What small action could you take today that aligns with that new belief? Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small. Choose one area to focus on. Be patient with yourself and celebrate every small victory along the way. As you start this journey, keep in mind that the mirror principle is not about perfection. It's about growth, self-discovery, and gradually creating a life that truly reflects your highest self. There will be challenges along the way, but each challenge is an opportunity to look deeper, to grow more, to align yourself more fully with who you truly are. You have the power to shape your reality. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, they're all creating the world around you. By working with the mirror principle, you're not just changing your circumstances, you're changing yourself. And as you change, you'll find that the world changes with you. So take that first step. Look into your inner mirror and see the incredible potential that's there. Then, Start the exciting journey of bringing that potential to life. Your reflection, your life, is waiting to be transformed, and it all starts with you. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to choose, to act, to create. What will you choose to reflect in your world today? The mirror principle is a powerful tool for personal transformation. It teaches us that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world, and by changing our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, we can change our reality. We've explored how this principle works, from understanding the connection between our inner and outer worlds to the practical steps of putting it into action. We've looked at common mistakes to avoid, the benefits you might experience, and even seen a real-life example of how this principle can transform a life. But the true power of the mirror principle lies not in understanding it, but in living it. It's about taking responsibility for our lives, recognizing the power we have to shape our reality, and consistently aligning our inner world with the life we want to create. Remember, this is a journey. It takes time, patience, and persistence. There will be challenges along the way, but each challenge is an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding. As you move forward, keep reflecting, keep adjusting, and keep growing. Your life is your mirror. What do you want it to reflect? The choice is yours, and the potential is limitless. So take that first step. Look into your inner mirror and start the exciting journey of transformation. Your new reflection, your new life, is waiting for you to create it. And it all begins with you, right here, right now.